Okay?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the modern time has a thing called sharenting. The scourge of sharenting is something that we, on government side, are trying to combat. What is our mechanism for combating sharenting? Our mechanism is the following. Platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms will introduce flagging methods for people, users of platforms, to flag cases and instances of sharenting. We are talking specifically about cases of parents sharing images of their children up to the age of 18. Let's move on to how the main point of my argument, which is how this motion will prevent the addictive nature of social media to cause harmful parenting practices and eventually harm the kids and the adults of tomorrow. So, first of all, first thing that we can all agree on is that social media is very addictive in its nature. Okay, these are capitalist, economic, competitive companies that make a very strong effort to create the most amount of clicks, the most amount of users, and most amount of active users throughout the day. That's why they use push notifications and all these different methods in order to get people to stay as long as they can on social media. Not yet. Now, the content that is on these... Yes, clarification.
What publishment counts as sharenting?
Publishing images and videos of your children on these social media platforms.
Clarification?
Yes.
Are you talking about any sharing of photos, or up to some extent are you allowing it?
Any sharing of these photos. Now, moving on. The content that is on these social media platforms is short form. It does not have, they do not have meaningful messages in them. We're talking about pictures and videos. No one is going to post an entire book on parenting on social media and get actual traction. So, what happens when you have short form content as a way of promoting parenting? Well, what you get is images of only the happy times. You do not get images of fights and how they were solved. You get unrealistic expectations. Now, as a parent, all I see around me are these happy, smiling children that never put up a fuss, never put up a fight, and when I actually have my stupid bratty child who's not eating his goddamn pickles, I will have a very unrealistic view of what other parents are seeing. So I will probably lash out on my child much more often in this case where I see all these other parents with all their perfect children. I will have very unrealistic expectations for my own child. And this is obviously not the case. No child is perfect. But these social media platforms that promote only the happy, smiling kid at the beach will create unrealistic expectations for these parents. Now, the thing is that on these social media platforms, parents get social status from the amount of likes that they have on their posts. Now, this will make people more inclined to go to the beach and get a nice picture with their kid rather than sitting with their kid and doing homework with them or spending time doing actual parenting, because what happens is you will not get that social status from sitting with your child on his math homework. You will get that social status by just putting up a bunch of balloons and celebrating your one-year-old's birthday, even though he doesn't even notice or isn't aware of anything that's going on around him. Now, the thing is that why is this likely to be the case? Because the nature of these addictive social media platforms is that for a very little amount of work, okay, setting up that balloon and the nice birthday party with a cute little video, it takes very little work compared to the actual hard work of parenting and actually dealing with bratty children and helping them out with these difficult times. Now, the thing is, parents do obviously want what's best for kids. Now, we don't say that parents don't want what's best for their children. We are saying that the addictive nature of these social media platforms will distort that image of what is best for my child. When all I see around me are parents with their kids at the beach, with the Eiffel Tower, then I will get the wrong idea about what parenting actually is. I do not see pictures on these social media platforms of a parent telling their children values and sitting with them and helping them out with homework and helping them with real difficult psychological and moral situations. This is not something that you get on these platforms. Now, Another important thing that we don't get on these platforms is the fact that every kid is a unique case. Some kids need harder parenting, some need softer parenting. The reality is that these platforms kind of normalize the environment and make it so I see only one type of parenting, rather than a case on our side of the motion where the idea of parenting is one that is inherently private and inherently unique to each and every parent and each and every child. We get a normalized environment, a kind of one-size-fits-all, where obviously with difference of children, one size does not fit all. Now the thing is, what happens once the parents are running after likes and the addictive nature of social media makes it so that they arrange all these events and set up the birthday party with all the clowns and everything for likes. Well, eventually this does kind of make its way down to the kid, and the kid sees several things. First of all, the kid sees himself as being only a tool. Yes, closing opposition.
What is the criteria for when government can intervene in the parents' decisions?
What is the criteria for the government to intervene in the parents' decisions? The criteria for the government is to provide a solution for kids to end up growing up in the best way possible. When we see addictive social media platforms creating bad practices in parenting and a bad future for our children, we will intervene. Now, moving forward, the kid feels a kind of disconnect with his parent. He's less likely to go to his parent when he is suffering a tough time because he knows his parent is only interested in the happy times, the happy smiley faces that can be shared on Facebook. When the kid feels disconnected, he's less likely to go to the parent and doesn't have a guardian to help him out with hard psychological situations. The kid will see himself as only a tool to achieve likes on these social media platforms, and of course, when the kid grows up and when he sees that his parents care so much about getting likes on these social media platforms, he himself will see the social media platforms and the getting likes on these platforms as the one and only, or a very, very important goal in his life. These are very bad messages that are very bad for the psychological situation of these children and their futures. And for all these points, we call you to support.